So this is a very quick recap of Python, or rather a tutorial on Python, which beginners and those who just wish to quickly revise the Python syntax can refer to. This is also useful for school students who are trying to prepare for exams, and well, my target demographic is just about anyone who wants to learn Python. So let's get started. Now, first we're going to learn how to declare variables and assign a value to them. And to do that, you all you have to do in Python is write the name, the identifier equals the value that the variable aims to hold. As you all know, variables are just containers for information. There's places where you can store a certain value, or more accurately, they are places in memory where a particular value is stored. And so we can define it by giving an identifier name that obeys a certain set of rules. And we're just going to look at what those rules are in a second. And I assign this particular birthday to the birthday variable. Now, if I try to name a variable like this, for instance, then I would get a syntax error because I am not allowed, or for that matter, none of us are allowed to start an identifier with a digit. We are only allowed to start an identifier either with a letter, as you saw, we successfully did that, or you can even start it with an underscore. That's perfectly fine. So if I try to write it like this, for instance, that would be fine. That's accepted, and we have not seen any exceptions so far. So another thing that we are not allowed to do is make use of some weird symbol in our identifier name other than the underscore. The only special symbol allowed is an underscore. We cannot use anything else within our body. So if I did like this, then it says that I cannot, it just basically throws a syntax error. It's getting confused. It's thinking that, this is maybe some sort of an evaluation going on over here, and it's unable to make sense of the syntax. So this kind of, any kind of special symbol other than your underscore is not permitted within the Python programming language specifications. Okay, so that's all for identifiers. Another thing that you can do is you can obviously make use of a digit within the identifier name. That's perfectly fine. The only thing that you have to be careful about is that your identifier does not start with a digit. That's all you have to be sure of. So if I do this, that's perfectly fine. That is accepted. Now that is all for about variables. Now when we go on to comments, I can start any comment in Python with a single hash. Now anything that I write in the line following the hash, the same line following the hash, is just going to be ignored by the Python interpreter. The Python interpreter realizes that it does not have to convert this particular statement to machine code, and it just leaves it as it is. It's just meant for making the code easy to understand. It's meant for documenting what we are writing, and just as I've used it in the comment above, learn how to declare variables that people who read your program understand what you're trying to do. Another point regarding variables is that in Python, you cannot just, declare a variable like bday and leave it like that. This is what it shows in the interpreter. But if you just try to do this in a code editor and you just give the name, the line bday, that's it. You just, you're trying to just declare the variable and leave it. You can't do that. You have to assign a value to a variable while you're declaring it. So that's an important thing. Assign a value to a variable while declaring it. That's important. Another thing that you have to take care, another thing, or rather, another thing that you have to note is that types in Python are implicitly inferred. That is, if I declared birthday as I have declared it to be 30/07/2004 within a pair of double quotes, anything within a pair of double quotes or single quotes is generally considered to be a string data type in Python. So I don't have to explicitly mention, string birthday equals this, right? I don't have to explicitly mention that because it is automatically inferred by Python when it reads that particular line. So if I try to check what type has it inferred for the variable birthday, it shows that it is of the class string. Similarly, if I give a random number like this, num equals 50, and I attempt to find the type of num, that's my bad, okay, then it shows that it is of the class integer. So types in Python are implicitly inferred.